Welcome. We are so glad you could be here with us, and we are especially glad that we've got our amazing Ange Coxen, who's going to be leading us tonight. So thank you so much. And if we could, Ange is going to encourage us all to take part, joining in, making sure that we've got our cameras on so we can touch base with each other and connect with each other as we go. And let's see, I think that's most of what I had to say. So I think I'm going to get out of the way and let Miss Ange take over. So thank you for being here, everybody, and thank you, Ange.
Good evening, everyone. The first thing I'm going to say is I'm at home, so I have a dog that likes to share his voice in all spaces. And my husband has the ringer set on, ring every minute of every day. And I encourage you to put your cameras on. Cameras are community wealth. We can't feel better looking at names. We feel better looking at faces, do-rags, bonnets, uncombed hair, frustrated faces are all welcome in this space.
No
It's
makeup.
the end of the school day. Okay? And I see a lot of names that look familiar. This was not a requirement. So I hope you're here of your own free will. Having said that, I'd like you to find a posture that is comfortable for you if you can. And you can look down or close your eyes, and I want you to notice how you're breathing. This is called grounding. I model that wherever I am. You should ground yourself as often as you need to calm your spirit. So I ask you for a moment to either close your eyes or gaze down and to take notice of your breathing. And I'd like you to breathe in nice and slowly through your nose and hold it. And nice and slowly breathe out through your mouth. Nice and slowly. Let's try that again. We can gaze down or we can close our eyes. We're breathing in slowly. 2, 3, 4. We're holding it. 2, 3, 4. And we're breathing out through our mouths. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in slowly. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. Come on back in. Look at cameras on, please. Community wealth. Faces are important. Do-rags, bonnet, dogs, little ones, husbands, and boos are welcome in this space this evening. Let's check in. What district are you from? And one word to describe how you're looking forward to next weekend's long weekend. In the chat, let's go. In the chat, let's go. What district are you from? And one word to describe how you're looking forward to the long weekend next week. In the chat. Is the chat on? Oh, okay, Patterson. I don't see a face, Patterson. Emerson, okay. Where are you? In Oakland, Jersey City? Excited. Happy, excited. Okay, I see we got a bunch of foodies in the room tonight. No judgment, no judgment. Ewing, relieved, eager, needed. Oh, I am just love it. Essex County Votech. What's going on? What's going on? I see you. I see you. Robbinsville, ready to celebrate. I'm ready to cook. I'm ready to cook. Welcome. I see new faces. If you can, I'd love you to go on camera. Patterson, I'd love to know what school you're in. Welcome, everybody. I know you agreed to the safe space statement and I know you saw the agreements, but I like to go over agreements. The agreements in this space is what's said here stays here. So when you share, do not share your district. When you share verbally, do not share your district, just share your issue. We honor time, so it's a 1-minute share. This is not a Baptist all-night testimony service. You got 1 minute to share your problem, or 1 minute to share your suggestion, or 1 minute to share your solution. We're going to keep it moving so that everyone has a voice and everyone can share what their issue is. This is a no judgment zone, no judgment zone. So watch your words. And if this one is just for me, I need to watch my face because my face usually tells exactly what I think. So, having been honest and cameras on to create connection. That's why we need cameras on in a virtual space. Protocols for this evening. Purpose is to gain from the wealth of the community. We are a community. Each one of us can bring wealth to the conversation. And so we're sharing an issue. That's 1 minute. And then if you have tried something that works, that's a solution. So you say, hi, I have a solution. Give them 1 minute solution. If you haven't tried it, but you want to offer a suggestion, say, hi, I have a suggestion, and give them 1 minute suggestion. That's how it's going to flow. And then after we take a few suggestions and solutions, I'll open the floor up for another issue that can be tackled. And that's why we invited everyone, not just urban librarians, but everyone to this space. Christine, wave to everybody. Christine is our timekeeper because I can tend to hold meetings too long. So we're stopping at 7:55. We're going to wrap it up. Ellen, be prepared for announcement. Steve, be prepared for announcement at 7:55. Steve is our co-host. He's going to be techie, handling the techies issues and keeping up with who talks, who's next. And I think that's it. Who would like to unmute and share their issue? Christine, please.
Okay.
Nice and loud.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This issue probably applies to everybody, but or every school. I've always been looking for ways to increase student engagement and a lot of different topics too. I've been having like board games at the last few minutes of class. The biggest hit lately was I bought those bracelets, the beads, you can make words and then you put the colored beads on it. That was a huge hit. But I'm running out of ideas because you can only do so much of that before they get bored. So I just want to have some of either events, some pop-up ideas, or some things I can incorporate in my classes that would be interesting to my grades of 4 through 6, but it could be anybody.
Thank you for that. Anyone have a solution or a suggestion? Unmute and share.
I love the idea of the bracelets. I'm definitely going to copy that. It's very easy to do it. And I'm going to do an upcoming thing for Dogman because it's near our parent-teacher evening. So I'm going to have something going on for that. So, I mean, I try to capitalize on popular books, so that might add in to what you're doing. But I do the centers also at the end. And I have a very big hit is the Lego design.
Lego.
Yeah, Lego. If you have any, yeah, Lego design. It's very big. So
Lego design.
yeah, I'm doing like Macy's did a whole area where they designed the parade out of Lego. So like the last 10, 15 minutes, we have a Lego center, and they can take the pieces and then they build something.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that share. So I'm going to ask you to go back on mute. Anyone else with a suggestion or a solution on engaging not quite middle schoolers, but pretty close to it?
I'm going to tag in and build on the Lego idea. I actually got an idea from my K3 librarian that I brought to the middle school, but she did it with her K3s, and it was Lego marble mazes. You get some Lego base plates, some cheap Lego base plates, put out some Legos. The kids can build with Legos. You give them a marble, and then you've got to tilt and rotate the base plate around to make the marble go from one end to the maze to the other. My students are over the moon about it. Like, they cannot get enough of it. And it's super simple.
Thank you for sharing. Thumbs up if that helped you too. If that helped you too, thumbs up. Excellent. Any other ideas, suggestions, or solution? Seeing none,
No,
issue.
I'll share.
Yes.
The kids in my class, I teach K through 5, but the older kids love the stick together board that's in our main hallway. We also have a community puzzle area, so all the kids do that. Something that I started this year, I felt comfortable enough to try, was the Battle of the Books. And that has really amped up the reading engagement. I have 20 students participating in that. And for the months of December and January, I am doing a comparison of the books versus movies. So the whole library will be displayed with that. And I have a sheet going home to parents and kids so they could do it together, kind of like cuddle up with a good book and movie. And the kids are watching me put it together and they're freaking out and so excited. So I highly suggest trying something like that to incorporate parents as well.
So thank you. I want to thank you for your suggestion, and I want to shout out Ellen, Dr. Ellen from William Patterson, who's also in charge of the EDI committee, and Madam President is here, Karen Grant. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but y'all need to recruit Kelly because she got great ideas and she's doing a fabulous job in her, and she needs to be a part of NJSO's board. I'm just saying, I'm off topic. I'm off topic.
Point taken.
Ha! We call that being voluntold. Okay. Who's next? I think Christine. Did you get some ideas, sweetheart? Yeah. Yes.
Thank
Thumbs
you.
up. Thumbs up. You're good.
Great. Thank
All
you.
right. Someone else. Issue. We need a new issue. Let's go. You all are doing such a great job. Everything's going just hunky dory. No problems at all.
Can I just ask Kelly to direct message me? It's only her first name. So I wouldn't be able to look you up, Kelly. I was going to write your name.
No one else has an issue? Everyone's doing well? Don't make me call you out because some of you, I know your issues. So let's go.
I would say my biggest issue is that there's not enough hours in the day, but that's a whole other, I don't know that we've got a solution for that.
Yeah, well, that's the balance word, Steve. That's the balance word. Someone else.
Sorry, I think I jumped on Anila there. Jump on
Oh,
in.
hi. Yeah. So I do K-3, and I've noticed my third graders, I do digital citizenship with them. The attitude on them is like intense. So I've been doing things like competitions and things like that, but I kind of want other ideas with, if you've had attitudes in class or like one particular student who's kind of riling up the other students. I think that's the issue that I've seen with my third graders mostly.
So I'm going to press in a little bit. Is
Please.
it a negative attitude against the implementation of digital protocols and truth and false news? Land on what the attitude's about, if you know.
Okay, so when I spoke with their teachers, they needed a lot of like typing skills and things like that. So we were doing a project with typing and things like that. And a lot of them are very into the games and whatever, but you have like one or two students who like will like, oh, I don't want to do this, or this is boring. I'd rather do something, you know what I mean? So I just want to like nip it in the bud now before, yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing it. Let's go. Some solutions, suggestions, or ideas. Let's go.
We need Hilda here with her classroom management.
Oh, I have ideas. I'm just trying not to take up all the space.
Can I just say, this is something, attitude is something we're hearing even up through college, that this is becoming an issue through all grades.
So To tag on to Ellen, it's a cultural thing. Pushback is accepted now. Speaking freely is accepted. So don't lose your energy trying to correct culture, but create a protocol for rewarding what you want to see. Now, what the reward, award, acknowledgement, change your focus. Focus on the young people who are doing exactly what you think they should do and what they should be doing, and find a way to lift them above the kid who's trying to have that negative voice. So, is it a bulletin board with caught you doing something right in their name and their picture? Is it some kind of badge they walk around with? I don't know what it looks like in your setting, but raise and elevate the young people who are on task and have the proper behavior as often as possible, and create a structure where those young people who are that negative, they just missing out on love and recognition. Someone else, idea,
I have an idea.
suggestion. Yes, please.
Suggestion. So I find that I'm an elementary school librarian, and I find that the kids who have those attitudes, who try to avoid coming to libraries sometimes, are the kids who just don't want anything to do with reading. It's not necessarily, I don't take it personally, but they don't want anything to do with reading because they know they're not as skilled as they need to be. So that's the one thing. And so one way to keep them or to pull them in is to assure them that I'm not going to embarrass them, that I'm there to help them, that challenge me. I'll find a book that you want to read. It might not be today, it might not be the next class, but we can just talk about what you like to read about. So that's the one thing. And then for my fifth graders who, as the year goes on, everything is corny to them. But one thing I know is I'll ask them to help me with the little ones. The buddy reading starts. And then the other thing is I'll just act like, and I do need their help. Can you check the links that I have for this next unit I'm going to do with kindergarten? Next thing I know, they're not only checking the links, but can we try it? Can we? So that is another way to get them involved. Let them help. Also ensure them that they are safe and give them agency. Let them lead a little bit.
I love that word, agency. I love that word. Turn over the checkout table, the checkout, you circulate, give them a task, get them busy. Ask them what they would like to do. I don't know. The schools are so confusing when I go, and some have A day, B day, some have day 1, day 2. Oh my goodness. Whatever structure you're running on, pick a day where you're going to implement one of their ideas for that day. So day 6 on Fridays, when day 6 lands on Friday, I'm going to take one of your suggestions and we're going to do it. Yeah. Anyone else? Suggestion, idea, solution?
Again, kind of building off of Karen's idea of working with the littles, and having the older kids work with the younger kids. I had a great conversation with a librarian who she calls it a reading rescue pet adoption program. And she basically gets stuffies donated, like stuffed animals donated to the school. She washes them, cleans them, and then the kids all adopt one. And then that becomes like, she's got a whole program that she does. They do reading with them, but it could maybe be like we're going to teach our stuffies how to do this thing. And she said, even the kids who are like, I'm too cool for this, will pick one that they like. And then, they end up buying into it more than you would figure. So maybe there's a way to sort of tie some of that in a way to get them, invested in something that they have oversight of, or, that responsibility for. When you can hook them in that way, they're gonna go further, because they're like, when they feel that responsibility, oh, I've got to step up.
The word agency is it. That's
Yeah.
it.
I wonder if, this is a suggestion, I wonder if having them teach the class something, if finding out what their special pool of knowledge is and see if, maybe they're really into comic books and we don't, but they're too embarrassed because that's not real reading, which is the attitude they get from teachers. So maybe they can teach you about manga or, the latest comic book, or maybe they're super into Legos or super into something that they can share with the rest of the class. Just an idea.
Maybe the typing that they have to do is about the thing that they like, and so they're going to get the typing skill by doing the thing that they know about.
So to piggyback off of Ellen, I heard you, Christine. You can come back after me. He was the brightest kid and the nudge of the year, and he was a chess champion. So I don't know how to do that. So once a week he would have this digital, on the interactive white, and teach me and teach the class, and he just was thrilled that he could beat me at something. Then he came back the next week and gave us the history of chess. And I was like, you never know. I hope these solutions help. Christine, you're the last one, and we're going to go to another issue. Please share.
I did a unit on doing presentations, and I had asked the students to choose something that they were interested in that they could teach the class, would demonstrate to the class. So it was pretty interesting. We had people make slime. We had people play dribble basketball. I tried to do a Nerf thing, but it didn't come in time, so I got a regular basketball. And they dribbled the basketball, showed, a couple of tricks and how to dribble and how to shoot. So it was interesting. We did football, soccer, did a lot of different things. And it was like a 3-minute presentation. And for most people, it went well. There was some kids that really wanted no part of it. They didn't mind watching, but they did not want to get up in front of their peer. But it was good for a lot of them.
Thank you for that. In the chat, we have Kahoot as a suggestion. Thumbs up if you got ideas. Thumbs up if you got ideas this round. Great. Next, we're losing people, but that's okay. Next, another issue. Come on. Come on. Come on. What's your issue? So I'll put one in the room. You're
I-
bored.
um,
Oh, who
I
is
have
that?
a question.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Just going back to what you said, the suggestion box. On the 6th day, pick out a suggestion from the students. What happens, like, doesn't that mean every Friday the same classes will be doing, I have different classes every day.
So
Do
that's
8.
why I said you had to adjust it according to what structure is in your building, because some people have A day, B day, some people have day 1 to day 6, and it rotates. Make sure all classes are have accessibility to that. They're going to look forward to that. It could even be a Google Doc, and you just go in there and grab something, or
All right.
or that brown thingy you guys do so well at, and put everything on and just
Gotcha. Thank you.
right. Yeah. The one thing I forgot my thought. There's some stuff going on in the chat. Y'all click on it and save it until later. Save it till later. So my question to you is, why are you here? Are you here to listen, or are you here because there's a prevailing issue? And if there's a prevailing issue, none of us are evaluating you. So bring it to the room, because you have professors, retired teachers, and longtime practitioners in the room who could walk you through this. Also, I want to welcome the co-chair of the EDI committee, Ms. Kim Chapman. Welcome, ma'am. And come on, issue. Let's go.
Well, here's an issue. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I haven't taught middle schoolers in like 10 years. So yeah. So now I have K-8. So I'm just struggling with what to do with grades 4 through 8. Because everything is corny. Everything is, what we were talking about. So just need some suggestions. That's all.
So I'm gonna start, guys. This time of the year, what I did was I used the old school technique called Reader's Theater. And my most troublesome class, I would have them create a holiday reader's theater, and they got to perform it for the lower grades, but they had to be behaved. And it had to be based on a classic Christmas, whatever, story. And they did the Hood Taylor, A Christmas Carol. It was hilarious. Kids are amazing when you release the authority and the control. So they had to read the original, and then they had to make it into readers theater. And they said, "Can we have? You can have what as long as it's appropriate." And then they went down to the younger grade. So that's an idea. Massage that. We can talk. And then another class was my special ed kids who drove me crazy because they really couldn't. And they created a musical called An Elf Named Freddie for the kid that liked to dance. And all he did was dance the entire time. I liked this time in the library because there's so many nice things you can do that's kind of fun and not so heavy information literacy, but still fun. Anybody else? A solution for seventh graders? I'm going to just put it on a grade level because seventh graders seem to be an issue this year. Seventh graders.
I'm in the same situation as well as you. I got a K-8 program, which is very expansive. So what I started doing for grades 6, 7, and 8 was we had a lot of paperback books that were just really old, and it was like a novel that it's not going to be read. It hasn't been used in like forever. So we made, I found this very simple video online. We made a folding project, and it came into one of those book trees, and it was just 3 steps. It was called Christine's Book Tree, or Christine's, I think they mentioned the word Christmas in it, but I did it as like a forest tree, and it worked extremely well. And I just started also because I also have one bilingual 6th grade class, and they primarily speak Spanish. So I didn't know how this would go, but we did a conversation about news literacy, and I used Google Translator. So they had very good ideas, actually. And they were actually reading and into news stories. So it went much better than I had expected it to. So I'm going to do that for a couple of weeks leading into end of the year stories and, starting the new year. So.
Thanks for sharing that. Do me a favor, private message me what school you're at, because I retired from Patterson. All right, I'm off topic.
Okay, I need assistance. Come help me. Or okay, right.
Anyway, see, I told you somebody need to chime me in. My face had judgment on it. Chime me out. Okay, so but seriously, I'll give you my contact information. So our lovely our handsome tech co-host put Christmas crafts in the chat. So click on it for later. Holiday. We can't use Christmas. Holiday. Winter. Someone else. Issue. Solutions.
Can I just say to Kim's issues, on NJZL, there is that curriculum resource. I mean, it's not fun stuff, but it is, if you haven't built up curriculum, has to do with information literacy, I think. And there's a sample curriculum there. If you didn't know about that, that could be a good place to get some ideas from. I think they have it separated like K-5, middle school and high school. So I would suggest looking there.
Also, Common Sense Media. You don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to digital citizenship. Common Sense Media breaks it up into grade levels. They have the information literacy, they have the digital citizen, and then they have the fun stuff, right? Check if you haven't checked out Common Sense Media. And also, if you're a member of NJSL, there is a discussion thread that people throw things in there and they get lots of answers. NJSL model information. Thank you, Steve.
That was all
Someone
Ellen.
else.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thanks, Ellen. So did we get ideas? Thumbs up if we got some ideas just now. Excellent, excellent.
So in the chat, we've got Christine saying that to celebrate winter, I would like to ask the students to create a paper winter village. Love that. I have snowflake decos and lights and electric candles. Very nice. And that could be another great way if you've got books to weed. Maybe the pages become things to cut out into snowflakes or cut out into villages and whatnot.
Karen, you want to share what you put in the chat?
Yeah, I use Canva a lot for all my creating everything. And I recently went to a workshop in my district, and it was all about how to use the resources that are ready made in Canva. I know we often think that, oh, let's take teachers pay teachers for the free resources. I know I do that all the time. What's the title of the book and what's free? But Canva, I was really, really surprised. I didn't know that all that was available. You can have a free teacher account. So really, really good.
Thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
If
And
you're just looking for things to engage your middle grade-ish kids, I mean, this really works at any level, but I have a daily puff poll where there's a bowl of 1-inch cotton puffs, all different colors, and 2 canisters and a small whiteboard, a little 2-foot by 3-foot whiteboard. And I do every day, but you could do it however often you wanted. You could do it once a week, you could do it whatever. The kids suggest ideas. I got a Google form. They can put in whatever it's every day is a would you rather. So would you rather be really great at singing or be really great at dancing was yesterday's. And the kids, you would think I was giving money away. Every time I get there, they're waiting at the doors for me to open the doors. They come rushing in and they start, oh, okay, so this one's today. And what do you think? What are you going to do? How would you do? And the conversations, and I honestly cannot believe the buy-in that I get from them from this real simple thing that I set up. But I originally started doing it as just my own questions that I found, because you can find tons of would you rathers online, or you can make up your own. But I asked the kids, like, hey, if you want to give yours, go for it. And I put it together a super simple form. So they're all in nice, neat rows. And it divides into choice 1, choice 2. So I could just copy paste if I need to, or I mean, I'm handwriting them on the whiteboards, but super easy, low maintenance, easy to do.
Miss Joy, I'm gonna need you to unmute and share that. But to tag on to Steve, and I just had a flashback. My last 10 years was in a specialty academy, and free chapter. Come on, y'all, hold up. And what I did was I put sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie. It was almost a war in the school. Really, people are serious about their pies. In case y'all didn't know, it's just having a voice. I think it's about having a voice. I think so. Karen, share your suggestion, and then Joy, I'm going to ask you to share your issue.
So I say we can never, as librarians, read to our students too much. And it doesn't matter how old they are. My 5th graders in June, there's a strong focus on, me reading little excerpts of this and that, even when we're working with reference materials and things like that. Right now I'm doing genres of fiction for grades 3 through 5. The 5th graders, they tune right in. They love for you to read to them. So reading a first chapter of a book helps.
Thank you for that. And if you have avid readers that have borrowed a book that they love, You can have them read their favorite excerpt. You can actually record it and have it on your, have it up and playing reels of kids reading this is the title of the book. I couldn't put it down and watch that book disappear. They may not borrow it, they just might take it. But that's the love of books. Joy, your issue.
Um, I'm trying to find ways to maximize my time, and because we don't have built-in maintenance time, we have prep periods, and it seems like it's hard for me to get things done and stay on top of or ahead of my tasks. So I just wanted to know what anyone does in their library that's efficient, or just helps them to maximize their time and get things done, you know in a productive.
So you only have a lunch and a prep. You have no library management time.
I do not have library management time.
Okay. Let's go, team.
If it helps, I don't know if it does. My to-do list only gets longer. It never gets shorter. So even when I check stuff off, there's 2 things that have replaced the thing I checked off. So for what it's worth, there's that. I will throw out there, I don't know what grade level you're at, but my student volunteers, my library ninjas, so awesome. I've got, and there's only a couple right now, but the ones that show up just will do whatever. Like they are, right now we did a big genrefying project and they're going through and putting colored stickers on all the different genres. And I've got this one girl that is just tireless. She shows up and she's there like every day. She's on it. And it is coming along. I mean, I literally would not be done for months if it wasn't for these kids that are helping out. So definitely think about what are some of the resources you might already have to be able to take advantage of. Maybe even, I don't know what your parent support group looks like, but that might be a place to look for some people who can help out too. So just maybe some possibilities there for some extra hands.
Thanks.
And do you officially call them library ninjas, or is that
I
a
do.
nickname?
No, that's their name. We've got a little logo I made for them and everything.
I love it. What's their reward? Do you have any?
Not super, like it's kind of the kids that show up. I'm going to give them some stuff as we go along throughout the year. I've got some different like things that I've gotten at different places that they're going to get their pick of, and they always get their first pick of the new books when the new books come in. So there's that. And most of them just like being in the library. So they just, for them, that's actually sort of a reward, just being there.
So I called them library assistants because they felt authority. They had some authority. And convention conference tchotchkes, I would throw it in a big tub because everywhere I went, I always got all sorts of things. I really don't know why I bought it home because I will never use it. And I threw it in this bin. And they were like, "Where did you go, miss?" And I said, "Hit it." And they come and they go, "Oh, look, oh, look." And so that was one of the things. And then I worked with the parent association, and like a time like now, they would give them pizza for lunch. Like next week, they would be guaranteed to get pizza for lunch, and around Christmas time as likewise. So yeah, but you need to train them, right? And if you're in a multi-grade school, don't start with the oldest ones, start with the little ones. So by the time they become the oldest ones, they're doing the training and you have no work to do. And let me shut up. Somebody else. Yes, please.
Kind of piggybacking on that, I use the classroom aides. So they're trained with Follett and Destiny, and they're able to check in books while I'm getting the kids situated in reading and teaching the lesson. And then the ones that feel comfortable will help me shelve as well. So at least I know everything's getting shelved correctly, because like an adult is doing it, or hopefully correctly. And that helps a lot. So, and then you kind of have control over the class, and then really, because the behaviors come out when the kids are circulating for books, not so much when you're teaching the lesson. So if you have classroom aides, that could be something you could do, is train them on the back end.
Thank you for that. Someone else.
I'm going to actually tag back in and piggyback off of that because it made me think of a conversation I had yesterday. Somebody I was talking to is saying that their special ed students aren't necessarily capable of reshelving stuff, but they can put up signage in certain places that like if they're looking for the letter A of the author's first name, all the A's go over here. And that saves this librarian a lot of time. Just they're not all reshelved, but they're in the right section, so they're ready to be reshelved. So it really cuts down on the amount of time she has to put in, and it's relatively low time setup in the front end because it's really working with the skills they already have to help them find ways that they can help you out.
Hi, I just want to ask a question. Anyone on here, are you dealing with having general ed and special needs students together in one period?
Okay, so I'm gonna pause you. That's our next issue, but I want to
Okay.
finish up with Joy.
Okay.
Any other suggestions for Joy? So Joy, I do have another suggestion. I suggest you pick the one task that you can turn over to students and take one lesson and teach it to everybody, and then rotate, allowing each child to complete the task. So, oh, Julio, it's your turn to whatever it is, but train the whole class. And so that's one task that they can take over. You have to figure out what that task is to help you. Okay? And then next semester, it's another task. So you're turning it over to your young people. You're giving everybody a chance. Even if they don't do it correctly, you're going to discover the kids that can. You're going to discover, oh, Amanda was my, that's one I'm going to put on my Librarian Ninja squad next year. She's going to be a captain because she just did that task to perfection. Anything else for Joyce?
I would
Okay.
say
Yeah, please, Karen,
I would
please.
say teach routines. By the way, I call my kids library citizens, every single one of them, because the library belongs to them. I'm there because of them to support them. And so they don't ask me for rewards, although I would give them certain things because they know they're doing their part as a library citizen. That is their school library. They belong there. And we all take the responsibility of taking care of it. But for Joy, I wanted to just add to what has been said. All of those things are very helpful. I find that teaching routines, having it down to a T, even my kindergartners know when I do certain things, I move certain ways, even down to I taught them from a book, Howard B. Wigglebottom Learns to Listen. His mother tells him to go clean up his room and he says, okay, mom. And so joking with them that I'm not your mom, I probably look more like your grandma. But at this point, when I ask you to do something, I want you to say, okay, Miss Grant. I make it fun. Everybody stand up and they sing, okay, Miss Grant. And the principal was in there one day and she's like, how did you get them to do that? It's a routine. So they have an arrival routine. All my kids, K-5, have an arrival routine. Stop on that red star or go to your table and log into your computer. Go to Clever. We use Google Classroom. Go ahead, and the older kids know, hit the stream. Go to your table, go to Google Classroom, hit the stream. They know to read my message or watch a video or whatever. And that way the teacher can tell you who's absent, or you get started dropping the books in. Although my books I have returned during my prep time, I have all the books returned and all the reports run before the classes start to begin. And then finally, just teaching kids, even the younger kids, when they want to help, a little stack of books on their table and they sort the books with the number, the nonfiction, and the books that are easy fiction or fiction. Has
Routine
to
and
be predictable.
consistency.
Yeah, create a predictable atmosphere for them and fun.
Fun. If this helped you, thumbs up. Let us see. Did this help anybody? Good.
I
Good,
just
good.
have one question related to something that Karen said, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do a Google Classroom for each class you have, or?
Yeah, when we get to school in September, the main office has already set up all the rosters in Google Classroom. We just have to name them. So it's easy. I just open it up and put the messages
You
in.
have one for each class. You have a
I
separate
have one for
each class.
mhm,
Okay.
every class.
Okay.
So when I was at the high school, I had one for each grade level.
Okay. That's what I was
So it was
wondering.
It was a ninth grade classroom, a 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th. Each classroom, they had their own classroom. And as projects came up, I would put resources in it. They would hit there. They know. Once a kid came for help, I put the resources in the classroom, and young people loved it. So we're gonna move on. Thank you so much. See, Joy, you see what happens when you ask a question? You get community wealth and knowledge. So Kim, say yours again.
Okay, so I have general ed and special needs together. LD, BD, AU. Yeah.
What's
So
AU?
autistic, we call it AU,
Okay.
autistic.
Okay.
So each class is paired with the special needs class. So I feel like I'm neglecting my special needs students because all I really could do with them is put them on the computer when they come. And then, some of them are independent workers, and the smaller ones, the atmosphere is too much for them. It's too much, and they're loud, they're screaming out, because autistic, certain things set them off, so I just need some suggestions of what to do.
Thank you for that. Let's go. Come on, team. What do we do?
I feel like, let me know if I'm talking too much, Ange. Okay.
No, well, I can answer her question, but I'm behaving myself. Go
All
right
right.
ahead.
Let me let somebody else answer, but I just had this problem.
Go ahead, Karen.
So I had an autism class that was just tearing the library down while I was trying to teach the rest of the class. And so I met with the teacher, excuse me, my baby. I have a new baby. I'm a foster mama, and
Yay.
he's new. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Here's me talking. Hold on I'll come back.
Okay,
Ange.
someone else while she gets the baby who decided to participate in this evening's discussion.
Would it help to have students like pair up the students or have like a buddy system so they can help some of the students that may need help with, whatever the assignment is? I'm just guessing. Like, would that be helpful? Okay.
For example, well, a lot of the classes, from what I see and walking around the building, especially the younger classes, they have them on the computer all day.
Yeah.
So that's what they want. you know, if I have some hands-on things, like I have the connecting blocks, I have some sensory things because I know they like to do hands-on. The smaller ones, I'm talking maybe first grade, second grade, first and second grade. So I know they like to do hands-on, but they're just so, when they come into the library, they're like, computer, computer. That's what they want, and I just feel like I want to do something else with them, although I can't because I have another general ed class with 20 students, and I have 7 autistic students over here with their aide. So I'm constantly apologizing to the aide. I apologize, it's hard. I'm just one person, and I'm trying to teach over here and still pay attention to them too.
So
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I have a number of special ed classes, and per our curriculum, we have the STEM and STEAM. So we have Legos and other toys that they can, manipulate and play with and design with, and they really favor those. They love magnet tiles, connects, just those like building toys. I don't know if you have those materials though at your disposal, but that's another alternative to the computer. And plus, with all that sensory stimulation, that might help to ease a lot of the overwhelm.
I agree with you, and I do have those things. A lot of them, especially again, the first and second graders, they put things in their mouth, so I have to be careful what I buy for them. They get agitated because they want to be on the computer. They want to
Oh.
be on YouTube. So I'll try, like I put books out there. I put book buckets. I put the blocks, I put the puzzles, everything on the table, and they'll mess with it for a little bit, and then they computer, and then if you don't give it to them fast enough, they start screaming, they start acting out, crying. They have an aide, and of course the aide is tired. She thinks this is a rest period, so she's sitting there like, hey, they're yours now, like, but I'm just here, whatever, if they got to go to the bathroom or something, like, so it's
That's a
tough.
lot. That's a lot. So
Lot.
Karen, I really want you to give your share because I only got 5 minutes left. What were you gonna say now that the baby's quiet?
Now he's quiet. Okay. So, one, utilize the aid. They won't like it, but they're there to continue working.
They're getting
It's not
paid to
their
work,
break.
Bo.
Absolutely. So I use Google Classroom. I set up a simple story I did like for my second grade autism class. 10 little turkeys. She read 10 little turkeys. She used the manipulatives to explore the number 10. Then they love the dots. Do you have the dot markers? Instead of having them color all the time, there was a turkey, and then it was you dot the page or whatever, and then a movement that, doing the turkey freeze dance or whatever. I met with the teacher. She suggested some things. We came up with a list of activities. I list those, whatever the activities for the day are. The aide follows what I put in Google Classroom to a T. The principal approved that we would stagger the classes. So they start 15 minutes after the general ed class, so that the last 15 minutes, so they're not with the aide the whole time, and they never experience being with the librarian and talking to the librarian. So the last 15 minutes, I go in there, they do book selection with me. I'll do a little part of what their lesson was about and go and be silly with them. And then I feel like they've had library, and at least in a small way, 15 minutes is a lot of time for them. They've had a true library experience, but utilize the aid and utilize technology. Choice boards allow you to curate, so they're not just popping on to what they want. You can curate whatever you want. I use the teacher's theme, and now we use Clever. I don't know if you use Clever, but we use Clever. I put all the links there, and that's how they work, and it seems to be working. The aide, she doesn't like me as much right now because she's working. That's what she's supposed to be doing. I'm working. So try it.
So thank you, Karen, for that. And I see a lot of people writing, and so that, I know you're writing down ideas, and I think it's great. So what your struggle should not be your struggle. That's what a child study team is for. They're supposed to offer you modifications and accommodations. And that's when you might not be the most popular person when you lean into them and say, you keep giving me these kids, but no one's supporting me on this. Right? And then what I did when I had the K-8 setting is I invited the staff to have their grade level meetings in the library in the corner, so I could step in and hear what they were doing with those same students who showed up in their room to see what was successful, right? Because one of the things that I always found is when they come to library, there's different behavior. We don't get gym and lunch behavior, but we don't get the same behavior that's in the classroom in the library. So oftentimes I would like peek in the room to see, okay, so are they hanging from the ceiling in your room? And they're not. And I would try to find out, okay, so what are your techniques, and have those conversations. Once again, Steve has placed resources. Click, 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 save until later. He's just dropping knowledge constantly. If this discussion helped you, can I see a thumbs up if you got some ideas? One more thing I want, and I got a minute to discuss it. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. And this one is about the ESL bilingual English as a second language, and they throw the young people to you with no translator and they leave. And I heard Elizabeth talk about Google Translate. That's great, but there's always that one young person in your class that is the most proficient out of the whole class. Lean into that young person and offer them extra credit, whatever it is. Lift them up. give them a badge, and let them help you in this struggle where we get different kids. I mean, you could have a class with classified children, limited English children, and gifted children all in one class. That's how they come to the library. You can do it. You can do it. So, Christine, my time's up. So, one hand if you're okay, two hands if you got a lot of information. Let's go. Let me see. Thank you so much for coming. Don't leave. I'm going to start with Steve. Any announcements?
Yes, so we have got a raffle for folks who are here. So we're gonna take a second and we got, I got my wheel of names here and we've got everybody's name loaded in, and our winner of a $30 Mackin gift card is Elizabeth O'Brien. Yay! Congratulations, Elizabeth. I will reach out to you and send that info to you soon. So you'll have that. And we will have our, as always, we're going to have more PD coming your way. So keep your eyes peeled on the bookmark and your NJZL email and the NJZL website.
Thank you, Steve. Ellen or Kim, I'm sorry, Kim. Ellen or Kim, do you guys have any announcements?
Do you want to go ahead or you want me to do it?
I think the book club, we're still going forward with our book club. Goldie Muhammad's Cultivating Genius. We are now on chapters 3 through 6. We're reading chapters 3 through 6. I believe the next session is going to be on Sunday, December 1st. The Sunday, December 1st at 6:30. It is a Zoom. So we just invite, even though we're in chapters 3 through 6, we invite each and every one of you to join in with us. It's an easy book to catch up, even if you missed, the first couple of chapters. It's a very interesting book, and we're inviting you guys to join us with the EDI committee, with our book club.
Thank you. Anything else,
You're
Ellen?
Nope, Kim got it all. If you,
When's the next EDI committee meeting?
we were skipped tonight.
Right.
So the
I'm
third
looking.
the third Wednesday in December, I think.
Yes,
Third Wednesday in December.
that would be December 18th.
Thank you.
December 18th is the third Wednesday in December.
And what time does it usually start?
7 p.m.
And it's usually only an hour meeting, and sometimes it takes a turn and looks just like this. Sometimes it takes a turn and it looks just like this. I honor time so much because I know I know. Thank you all for coming. I hope you have some takeaways that you can use immediately. Karen, did you write down Kelly's name?
I did. I wrote down Joy's name too. I've got all the names, Ange, all the names.
Yeah, actually, all of them are really excellent, and one is like a scholar as far as writing and research here. Yeah, I'll give you. I can't pronounce your first name for me. Is it Bozic? Well, how do you say your first name? Anella?
Anella.
Anella, yeah. Yeah. I don't want to just put pressure on anybody, but all of these people need to be on the committee.
Do you already have a list of names?
Steve does.
Okay.
Steve does. We need to recruit because I'm getting old, you guys. I can't keep doing all of this. We need to recruit. Thank you all for coming. Is there anything else that's on your heart that you didn't share that you'd like to share at this moment?
I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Have a blessed holiday season with your families far and near.
And turn your devices off Thursday and Friday. Throw them in the corner. And this too, because this is the worst invention in the world. Because it's synced. Just all of it. Just next
You know,
week.
I ordinarily would say that, but my little one here, he was born last Wednesday and he can't go to Thanksgiving dinner. So Thanksgiving dinner is coming to me. My
Oh,
only connection to the outside world is
well,
technology.
well, it seems like
Last
he's the man.
Wednesday? Oh my
He was
goodness.
Oh my
born last
God.
Wednesday.
Oh, a
That's too
week.
young for me. I need them potty
Thanksgiving dinner.
training talking, boo.
Oh my goodness, Karen, you're an angel.
So our
Oh,
president of this is the president of NJSL, and she's a foster mom. So
Yeah.
anytime she shows up in a virtual space, we get to see who she's blessing, and we are that kind of organization. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was just an open forum discussion, and let Steve know if it gets really bad, we can have another one in the spring. We can just open it up and just hit all, because I think this is important, and sometimes we don't see another librarian at all year long. And when they do call those meetings, they have an agenda that doesn't fit exactly what you need to know. I'm just saying. Thank you all. You are dismissed. Have a good evening.